to my pretend cooking show, the Meatless Monday episode, where I introduce you to eggplant rollatini, this amazing dish so simple to make but yet tastes absolutely delicious. In fact, it tastes like Italy. Hi, my name is Dina Mitchell. This is my kitchen. Prego. Let me show you what goes into this amazing dish, also called Involtini di melanzane, rolled eggplant. We've got 3 kinds of cheese. We've got mozzarella, Parmesan, and fresh ricotta. We've got some fresh basil, an egg to bind it all together, of course, eggplant, Mama's tomato sauce, and I'm going to put the link in the description. If you haven't made it yet, you need to make it. In fact, make 3 batches because it goes really fast and it's amazing. Salt and pepper. Let's get started. Let's do the eggplant first. So, put my bowl over here. I can't wait to dig into this dish. It's so simple to make. All right, I've already washed off my eggplant. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this little guy, take off his hat. You're going to cut off both ends. I'm going to fix my shirt. Okay, now we're going to make a flat end, so I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to cut this end off first because I want all flat. All right, and we're going to cut it to about 1/4 of an inch thick. And we're going to make several slices here. That one's a little bit too thick. Do as I say, not as I do. You want your eggplant to be fairly firm to the touch. If it's squishy, it's going to be more watery. It'll get darker. It'll be more bitter. The object here is to get, depending on your eggplant, you're going to get anywhere between 7 and 8 slices. Again, do as I say, not as I do. This one's kind of, I'm not doing very good on this one. And let's do this last one. Okay, there we go. Not the neatest, but you get the idea. So I got from here, I've got 5, 6, 7 slices. Now, this part is optional, but I like to do it because especially, there's 3 different kinds of eggplant, and the ones that we generally have in the US are these big eggplants, and they're a little bitter. Sometimes can be a little soggy. So what I do is I salt them on both sides with some kosher salt and then put them on a towel for about 30 minutes or even up to an hour and let that drain out. So I'll do that to these. And when I say by salting them, you're just sprinkling some salt on them. Kind of get the idea. I'm kind of going messy here, but when you do this, and I've showed you this when we did our eggplant parmesan as well, you want to put something heavy on top because again, we're trying to drain out the water. So what I'll do is I'll put a heavy pan on there and I'll come back and this will actually be drenched. Now, or again, you can completely skip that step, not required. Then you're going to take your eggplant and you're going to put it on a pan. I've got the oven behind me preheated to 400 degrees, that's 200 degrees Celsius. And I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on here, about a teaspoon. And I'm going to take a paper towel, and you can spray if you want. You can do that too. I like the fresh taste of the olive oil because I'm kind of wiping it off. I don't want to fry them. Optionally, you can fry them, but there's no need. You're not going to miss the flavor. So I just have it on there, and then I'll lay the eggplant on here, put it in the oven for 4 minutes. 4 minutes later, we have these. So let's get to the filling. This is pretty easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to beat up the egg. I wanted to tell a corny joke because I'm corny like that. But I'll save you from that. Okay. So in this, now you can use Pecorino or you can use Parmesan or Reggiano. It's your choice. So I have about, what do I have here? About 60 grams or 1/2 cup of cheese, and I'm going to use most of it. I'm going to reserve some for the top, just like that. maybe like about a tablespoon or a little bit more. And then the Parmesan, and you want the low moisture Parmesan because it's gonna melt up and it's gonna be so good. If you get the other Parmesan, it's gonna be too watery. So anyhow, it'll still work and taste good. So I have 168 or 1.5 cups of mozzarella. And I'm gonna use most of it, but I'm gonna reserve about that much. Fresh basil. If by some chance you don't have fresh basil, you can use dried basil. You also can use parsley, right? But fresh basil tastes the best in here. And again, I'm reserving some for the top. And I've got about a handful that I've chopped up. It's about 20 grams in total. So I'm using about 15 in here. The other thing we need, fresh ricotta. So 1 pound of fresh ricotta, about 450 grams. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is my favorite brand. I know I've talked about it a lot, but I really do love it. But there's some great brands out there. Just get a really good, ricotta. Okay. Now we need salt and pepper. So this is to taste. Now, depending if you use Pecorino, which is really salty, maybe you don't want to add that much. And again, you can always add more later, but I'm going to do like 2 small. And the same with pepper. And I'm going to give that a good stir. And if you want to get an idea of what it tastes like now, go ahead and taste it. If you use really fresh eggs, there shouldn't be a problem. And that's really the key. But this is why I say to taste, because maybe you want to add more salt or pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Oh, it's so good though. And a little bit of pepper, but definitely more salt. Okay. All right. I've got my baking dish. You can use any baking dish you'd like. As you saw earlier in the show, I actually used my cast iron, which came out really pretty. Mama's tomato sauce, really easy to make. Cherry tomatoes, celery, carrots, basil, olive oil, and I believe salt and pepper. So good. This stuff is magic. Great to give away as gifts. I made this the other day. And if you can it hot, it'll stay, has shelf life of like 6 months. Yum. This is beautiful orange color. So good. Okay. So I am going to put like a couple tablespoons or so in the bottom of this baking dish. So good, so easy. The flavors in this is absolutely amazing. It's so easy to make, throw together, and you could actually even serve it over pasta. I'm gonna do like a little bit more. Okay, let's make some rolls. So I've got the eggplant here and I've let it cool off a few minutes. It doesn't take that long. So I'm just gonna take a tablespoon, put it right there. I'm trying to do this so you can see me, and then I am going to roll it. The small end, I'm gonna put down here. I'm gonna show you again. So depending on how big the eggplant are, but basically, I have about that. And again, we're gonna roll it. And continue on until your pan is full. Cover it with Mama's tomato sauce. And I do like to leave a little bit of room in between each one. Kind of didn't do that. So that way they just don't completely go together, but it really doesn't matter. Yum. Throw it in the oven, the same 400 degrees, for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're gonna take it out and we're gonna top it with that reserved mozzarella, Parmesan or Pecorino, and a little bit of basil. And that is what I have here. This is my favorite part. This is the part where I get to taste it. And I'm gonna do my best to try to share with you how amazing these flavors are, because it truly is amazing. Okay, let's plate it up. I like to put a little bit of tomato sauce on the bottom. Yum. And let's get this one. That looks really good. I feel like it wants another piece of basil. Let's do that one. Okay. There, like it made any difference. All right, guys. I already know how amazing this is. With the ricotta, the fresh mozzarella, the Parmesan on top, the mama's tomato sauce, which just really makes the dish, and the eggplant. Here's a bite for you. Here's a bite for me. It's so good. It's so good. I love the mama's tomato sauce, not too much, just enough. And some of the cheese, wow, it tastes so good. It's the sweetness of the ricotta, a little bit of saltiness from the Parmesan, and then the creaminess from the mozzarella. Eggplant rollatini. Hi guys, my name is Dina Mitchell. Thanks for watching my pretend cooking show. Please like and subscribe. Ciao.